Hey, welcome to Ngina's channel. It's another Tuesday and here we are. My name is Ngina.
It was so sad that at that point when I am heavy with the child, he's accepted to marry me. That's when I realized this man is married.
Oh, wow.
And I had dated him for almost 6 months. I never knew.
Hey, welcome to Ngina's channel. It's another Tuesday and here we are. My name is Ngina. Now it's an amazing Tuesday and today we have an amazing guest. Thank you so much for choosing to watch Ngina's channel. Now please subscribe to our YouTube channel and tap on that bell so that you can be getting any notifications every time we upload a new video. Now, today we're going to talk about the loss of a child. Now, when a parent loses a child, it is difficult. I think it's one of the difficult things to deal with. And more so if it's a stillbirth or a miscarriage or just an infant, a child that probably the others, all of us are not used to. You know, when a parent loses a child, most of the times, especially miscarriage or stillbirth, we are like, well, it's just a newborn. Like, you're not used to the child, so it's just okay. It's just something you can deal with. But a mother bonds with a child. The moment you realize you're pregnant, a relationship begins. So when this child is no more, it affects a mother big time. And we are talking about from week 1 to week 20, that is miscarriage, that is 5 months. From 5 months to the time that a child is supposed to be born, that is a stillbirth. And then we have an infant, maybe 1 day old or even a month, yeah? So today we have someone who's been through that, and I know she has walked a journey and she's working with others, and she will help us understand this. Now, she's an amazing woman. She's a servant of God. She is the voice behind Joyce's Swahili preaching. So, as I bring you Nashami, karibu sana, beautiful one. I know that is a part she doesn't talk about. So that one I have to say.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor. It's a joy to be on Ngina's channel.
Karibu sana.
An amazing channel, I must admit. Thank you for what you do. We are always there. And yes, everyone should just subscribe. And that notification bell, we will make all the noise because the content is just worth it.
Amen.
My name is Nashami Wangara. I am born again. I am a fourth born in a family of 13. I always say with all the confidence, my father has 13 of us.
Blessed.
I am the fourth, the second daughter among 4 daughters. I am a teens mentor. I work a lot with young people. I work where I'm employed. I work with Hand of Hope, which is the outreach arm for Joyce Meyer Ministries.
Okay.
So that is what I work as a communications coordinator. And then I'm an author. I have written 2 books, and I think that statement should change very soon. I need to say I've written 3, 4,
books,
5, 10.
Amen.
But yes, I've done 2 books. One of them is My Journey, My Story, which I call My Story for His Glory. That's the title of the book. And then the second one is a devotional book. It's called The Morning Dew. So they are amazing books that I have, and I enjoy the journey of being an author. Apart from that, well, with working with teens, I work a lot with them through schools, churches, organizations, because for me, anywhere there is a young person, you will find me there. I always say my daily mantra has always been my generation, my mandate. God gave me a mandate for this generation, and I'm not stopping at anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, you've had she does so many things. Sometimes I'm like, how does one person just do all these things? Now, we are so happy that you came today. Myself and all the members of Ngina's channel, all of you.
Thank
so,
you.
It's a sensitive issue, I know, and most of the time, especially if the person that is going through this is a single lady, it is different. When I have married, my husband will walk with me the journey. When I am single, and unfortunately there are people who think, anyway, it's okay. After all, she wasn't married. So to some of them, it's a good riddance. I'm telling you. They may never say it, but yeah. So you can probably just tell us a bit about your journey. Let's start there, because I know we have 1,001 questions, but a bit about your journey, which got you to a place where you had a child and you lost.
Well, interestingly, I love talking about it. This is the interesting bit. I love talking about my baby because we're still bonded till now.
Yeah.
So I have an interesting journey, you know, like you said, being single and going through this.
Yeah.
I was single at that point. Well, I'm still single.
Thank you. Noted.
But anyway, I was single.
Yeah.
I was having a relationship with some gentleman, and bingo, life happened. I realized I was expecting a child. And it found me at a time where I had been a bit shy of committing in a relationship. So he looked serious. And for a moment, I thought I can commit. And then I get pregnant. So I was a bit hesitant. I told him I cannot carry a pregnancy into my father's house. And he was like, that shouldn't be an issue. We're getting married. I'm thinking, so I'm just going to be a wife like that. Okay. Anyway, we are pregnant. Let's just do
you
this.
were okay with
It's
that?
fine. I was
Okay.
like, because I'm going to have a baby.
After all, yeah.
Yeah. But unfortunately for me, it was so sad that at that point when I am heavy with the child, he's accepted to marry me. That's when I realized this man is married.
Oh, wow.
And I had dated him for almost 6 months. I never knew. Well, I knew he was once married.
Yeah.
And I knew things ended. No, they didn't end. That woman was in the village.
My God.
And so he's excited, telling me he's going to have 2 wives, and at least having a second wife will make that first wife behave because she's not having good behavior.
That is the first time he's telling you that he's married.
Yes. My friend, I told him, you know what, Oga? I can't be number 2. It is not in me. No, I cannot. You know what? Let me carry this my belly, go back to my father's house. Let's deal with it there because I can't be number 2. Well, when I said that, that was the last time I heard of him. Like he just went, he even changed his number or something, so I could never get a hold of him. And remember, that time I was doing some job, I even had to leave that job. Because word got to me that this woman in the village got to know that their husband had impregnated some girl. So she was coming to look for that girl. I said, this one will kill me. So I left work and just went to the village.
Oh, my.
But anyway, long story short, got home. I had to speak it out. And I'll be honest, it wasn't welcome.
I can imagine.
Nah, it wasn't welcome. And the worst of it is, you would rather have done something and then somebody scolds you than someone keep quiet.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what's going in their minds. No one was talking to me. I was just
given
there.
a quiet treatment.
Yes. I was just there with my pregnancy and I'm just there alone.
By yourself.
You know. And remember, that man has disappeared on me. So I am alone.
How old are you at that point?
I was 22.
Oh, Lord, just a young girl.
Yeah, I was 22. So I'm there with my pregnancy. It's growing. No reception, no love. I didn't feel the love. I was just all alone. I think at that point I had one friend. One friend that at that point he was just my friend. That even I felt shame on me to tell him I'm pregnant.
Oh.
But he got to know somehow. And he came and met me and told me, you know what? I will not push you away. I will not judge you. I will be here. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I promise I'll be here.
Work with you.
And he kept his word.
A guy.
He kept his word to the latter. He was there for me, even after I lost my baby.
People must have thought the baby is his.
Not just people, even his parents. Because he was so there for me.
Wow,
He was so there that we had to sit down with the parents and clear the air. It's not his.
It's not his.
He's just working with his friend. Anyway, my journey went on alone and everything. And I remember the first time I even went for clinic, it was almost at the 6th month. Gina, let me tell you something. Poverty. I hate it.
You hate poverty with passion. I know.
I was
could not
broke.
afford-
I was so broke to even find small money,
To go
ordinary
for-
card for clinic. And then the clinic wasn't at home, so I have to take a border. Yani, I was that
You're
broke.
pregnant. Yeah.
And I feel so ashamed to even ask for dad for money and mom.
And what is mom saying?
No, nobody is talking, remember.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it's something that went on for 2 weeks and it's so. Oh, Lord.
I was just there carrying my pregnancy, getting fat kidogo and finding some free dresses and nothing. So one day I just went to my mom and told her, you know what? Don't reason with me like your daughter. Reason with me like a fellow woman. I need to be attended to. I don't know if I have a human being in here or it is a stone. I don't know if it is alive. I need to be checked.
No idea.
Well, she gave me money and I went to hospital. I'm glad. And got my checkup. Then I was to be given a second visit. I think it was 2 weeks after. I was told to go back. But after a few days of having been to hospital, this particular day I'm just at home and bingo, the water breaks. And I'm thinking,
6 months?
6 months? I'm not ready to, this baby is not due. So I tell my sisters and we quickly rushed to the health center at home. The nurse looked at me and he said, Uyu Akimbishwe hospital, you take her directly to the hospital. She needs a doctor's assessment. And we managed somehow and we go to hospital and the doctors checked me in. I was admitted and they tried to do everything to contain my baby. After like 2 days, I was okay. So, but again, I was unwell. Apparently, I had very bad malaria. So I had to be treated and all that. So the day before, I was to leave hospital on a Friday. But now my dad, who was to pay the bill, wasn't near. So the doctors agreed I can spend that day, then check out the next day. That night, not even that night, that afternoon, we are having lunch with my fellow women that we have bonded there. We're just having lunch and bingo. I feel labor. I feel that sharp pain and I'm thinking, child, I thought they contained you. Ni. So I go to the nurse. I tell her, I am feeling a very crazy sharp pain. I'm not sure if it is labor. I had never been through labor, so I'm guessing it might be labor. So she tells me, let's check the intervals. Kidogo ndio imekuja tena. She said, no, get to that bed. They check me. I'm already dilating and I'm thinking, it is not supposed to be now. She can't come now.
It's too early,
But anyway, I went through labor. That was around 1 and labor was there already. So I went through labor from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And the doctors were not so kind because they literally told me, the doctor came and told me, I'm sorry, but it seems the baby has to come. And the likelihood of that baby surviving is next to 0. They told me to my face.
Like that.
Yes. So I remember telling the nurse, I told her, nurse, when it is time for baby to come, this is my request. When I push her forth, let me be the first one to hold her. Please. She said, okay. Anyway, I went through labor. Baby came, pushed. Baby came out. So I had a normal delivery. Normal. Baby came out and I'm the one who held her. I didn't wait for the nurse to give me. I actually received her. I didn't want anyone else to touch her first. So I pushed and received myself. Yes. And I laid her on my chest. And I could feel those tiny little heartbeats. So after I held her, nurse, you can have her. I just wanted to feel her first. But before nurse took her, I couldn't feel that heartbeat again. I said, nurse, ni kama hapumui. So I gave the nurse. Yeah. Zanel, I called her Zanel. Zanel chose to come out alive for mama. Because even by the time the nurse was getting her, she was gone. That's how I lost my beautiful girl. So I named her Zanel Chichi.
Beautiful.
And my mother added Tekla, so she was Zanel Tekla Chichi. ZTC.
Your mom even was ready with the name.
Her sister. You know our mothers. So my actually
grandchild now.
One of my brothers used to say Mama ZTC. Zanel Tekla Chichi. Yeah, so anyway, baby came, she died. They asked if they can put her in the mass grave. They buried her. I told them no, mine will be buried home. The next day my mother came with my brother, took baby and went and buried her. I had to stay one more day in hospital, left the next day and went home. But going home, the reality now hits me fresh. Of course, not even that. Coming from the delivery room, back to the ward, the tummy is still protruded and you don't have a child.
You've gone through the labor, you've pushed,
Yes.
you brought forth a baby.
Yes. And the mothers out there are waiting for some report. I hope it was okay. Baby girl or baby boy? I said, baby girl. Where is she? She didn't make it. I couldn't sleep that night. I was holding my tummy, wishing she was still there so that she can kick. I said, ata fadhali ungetoka ungebaki hapa. I just feel you. No, she was gone. And she was gone. Going home, it gets tough. It gets tough because when I got home, I asked, where did you bury her? So I went and saw and stood there and sat there and cried.
By the time you got home, they had buried her.
Yes.
Okay.
They just got her and buried immediately. There's no need to keep. And I was like, okay. We went and sat there for a while until my mother came and took me from there. And it is crazy. That time, when a mother is due with child, your mammary glands are ready. So I had all the milk in the world and there's no baby. And of course, I'd been given some dawa, but it did not stop immediately after a while.
Yeah.
So it was now the beginning of a journey to grieve my child. But unfortunately, remember, I was single. I wasn't married.
Yeah, you're alone.
So number one, the father of the child is nowhere to be seen. Number two, nobody's still talking to me.
They still carried on the
like
week.
no, they just like pole, and that was it. So I am thinking, I want to cry, and sometimes you're found crying, you're told, "Where imetosha, that's enough. That's enough." I'll never forget a cousin of mine who came to me and told me, God knew you are not even ready to be a mother.
Whoa.
Another one came and told me, that is the punishment of having a child before you're married.
My God.
And I hear you are even dating somebody's husband. That is God punishing you. So I told myself, I cannot cry before these people. This is what they will tell me.
Yeah.
I come from Mumias. We plant sugarcane. I would go to the middle of the sugarcane plantation to cry. That is where nobody will see me. So I just cry alone. It was getting hard on me every day. I remember that time my kid sister had just gotten a baby. I think the kid was 2 months. I wanted to take over that baby. I want a child.
You want a child.
You know.
You were ready for a child.
Yes. It was so hard on me. And I'm thinking, who can I even talk to? Who can help me out of this? No one is there to understand. People have gone on with their lives. I mean, forgotten case. But me, ndo nimeanza kumon. And nobody's giving me room for that, And unfortunately for me, what I resolved to help me numb my pain and help me forget Zanel. In my former days before Zanel, I used to be a drunkard. Now that season took me back.
Went back there.
Deeper, not small. Now I was deeper because I just wanted to forget. I took so much alcohol, Ngina. I tried, because I'm meeting with people who are not just drunkards. They are drunkards. They are doing drugs. I found myself getting and trying everything. And trust you me, now I messed my life. Why? Because I was running away from grief. I was trying to deal with it, and nobody was helping me deal with it. So I had to think of what to do. And that is how I went. Did I get better because of that? Of course not. Alcoholism gives you a temporary relief. When you're sober, you're back to square one. So you need more to forget some more, I lost my baby in the year 2003. Every 6th of December, when I lost her, 6th of December, every year, faithfully, I would buy a birthday card and write to Zanel and write all the sweet words I want to write to her. And then I'll put it there and then I would start crying. Trust you me, I would cry until that card was wet, the whole of it. And then I would take it and throw it away. 6th December the next year, same cycle. I was grieving day by day, year after year. 2003, the first time I ever found space to talk. It was a bad state because I was in a group of women and they were talking. One of them had gotten a baby. So they were asking her how the experience is so far and everything. And then all the women there were mothers. So this one is giving an opinion. This is giving an opinion. Then one of them said, Nashami, don't worry. I know you don't know all this, even the pregnancy story, labor. Wait until you go through labor. And then I started crying.
Yeah, because you're thinking, I've been...
it's not as painful. Don't cry. No, they even don't know. I told them, hold up. I have carried a pregnancy. I have been through labor. I have pushed forth a baby. I have held a baby. So don't think I have not gone through that. And they sat and listened. Then I just opened up and talked to them. I think that was my first forum to talk about Zanel. And I talked and I cried. They gave me all the tissues in the world. I cried. And for a moment, it just felt better that I'm in a space where I can just talk it.
Yeah.
And so I think then as I would find a forum and I would talk and talk. Did I stop crying about Zanel? No. But one day, I think the first time, it was a certain Mother's Day. I can't remember. I think 2016-17. Mother's Day. For the first time. Mother's Day used to pass. I used to celebrate my mother and I'm done and celebrate all the mothers in my life. But that particular Mother's Day, I thought of me as a mother.
As Mama Zanel.
Yes. And instead of celebrating Mama Zanel, I thought I should write a letter to Zanel. Me the way I know how to put words down.
You're full of love.
I'll put words down for my girl. And I was smiling while writing it. I was just happy, like happy. It's like for the first time I'm thinking of her and I'm happy. Yeah, so I think in a nutshell, that's my beautiful journey with my baby. Yeah.
Amazing. How long did it take you to internalize that I lost my baby? She's not coming. I just have to deal with the fact that she's gone. And especially since you're walking through it by yourself. How long did it take you?
Many years. Because that's 2003, and the first time I ever embraced that this baby is not here, she'll remain a part of me, but it's okay. That was 2017, so that's 14 years.
14 years down the line.
Yep, because all along Upper Nyuma, no, I would put a brave face, but people didn't know that one of the reasons, I know some of my friends today still wonder, but one of the reasons I never fancied baby showers was that. I wasn't doing baby showers. No. I don't care who you are. I will not attend your baby shower. I can buy a gift and have it sent to you, but I will not come.
Not coming.
It was not easy for me to be around newborn mothers. Newborn babies. No, it was hard. Sometimes I would be walking and I see a pregnant woman and I start crying. Sometimes I would be jealous. Sometimes I would be crying. I see a newborn baby. I am jealous. I am crying. I had all the emotions all over. But I used to hide it because how do you start explaining to the world what you're going through?
And it's so unfortunate that we think because this child was not born, you should just forget, like it never happened, like you've not met the child. What is the problem? Most of the times we look at people mourning miscarriages and stillbirths as they are overdoing it.
Yes.
You're overreacting. Like, can you just let it go? No, I'm listening to you and thinking of my friends who've gone through miscarriages and wondering, how do you even start to deal with or just by yourself sit down and say, I will walk this journey alone? And how do you deal with the world that doesn't understand what you're going through? Because I think it's a time that you can just close out people.
Yeah,
and even lose friends, because I will come to you and tell you, Nashami, you love more babies. You're young. Don't worry, you love more.
It's crazy. It's tough because, number one, like you're saying, we are living in a world that wouldn't really understand you. You said miscarriages and whatever. Some people would be like, that wasn't even there are people who lose it even at 1 month, 2 months. And you're like, that thing was not even fully formed. Or some would tell you, that's an easier loss. Who said that there's an easier loss? Loss is loss. Let's deal with it. Loss is loss. Whether that baby was a week old, that pregnancy was a week old, or term to 9 months, or a child that was already born, a loss is a loss. And like you said when we were beginning, life begins at conception. So the moment you know you're pregnant, a beautiful... When I was feeling left alone and nobody cares for me, I remember there was a day I held my tummy, and I spoke to my girl. And I told her, Zanel, Mommy, it's you and I against the world. Be my strength, I'll be your strength. We need each other. We had a bond. You know?
That was your child.
Yes. So there is never a place you say, this one is too easy, this one, no. Loss is loss. And just for someone to start going through it, let me tell you, like any grief, like when people are going through grief, the stages, we just have to go through all of them.
Just have to.
You cannot behave okay. And that is which we will get to. What I tell people every time when someone is going through grief, I tell them, excuse me, just be you. Don't behave okay. Don't behave strong. I behaved okay. How okay was I for the 14 years? I wasn't. I was going through it, but I was not talking it. I was just behaving like all is well. All was not well. So I think the reality, just accepting that, you know what, I have suffered loss. Let me face it. I have lost a life. That is number one. And then just even to go through it. Right now, I am so grateful to God for the people and organizations that have come up. Awareness is being done. That is
Not
really
like
helping.
back in the days.
No, it's really helping. And I'll talk about some organization later that what we are doing with different, just working with women. But you cannot go through it alone. Let's face it. Don't even try.
Yeah.
No, don't even try.
Yeah.
At least you have someone. And the better place, that is why I'm so passionate, even myself, working with people, because being there, I totally understand. And you just find someone, even if it's one person, that will work with you. The society doesn't, I always say this in Guinea, I think you're my friend and you're going through a season. I feel obligated to stand with you. It's more of an obligation.
Yeah.
So I just have to be there. And sometimes the things we come and tell people, we should rather never have told them anything.
Don't just say,
It is
I'm
well.
better off to come and just be with you.
It is well. No, it is
It's
not.
It can
Or, you know that statement that people use, God plucks his good flowers. I don't know which one. They said, kwani me, I'm not good flower. You know, or that one that you say, don't worry, you will get more children. No child replaces another. Never. You can never replace a child. Every child is a human being on their own.
Yeah, on their own. That's
Sometimes when I am asked, are you married? No. Are you a mother? I say yes. Because I am. I'm a mother of one.
It was done.
If Zanel was here right now, that would be a 19-year-old girl, my friend. I'm such a mother.
I know. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Now, you've mentioned that you work with people. I don't know, probably you can, because I know there's someone who's watching you there, and they're thinking, I've been going through this alone. And then we have groups for widows.
Yes.
We have groups for single mothers, but we don't have groups for people who have lost their babies.
And they are single.
And they are single, especially they are single. Because I'm telling you, I have seen marriages broken because a couple lost a child.
Yes.
Both of them, as
Yes.
two as they are, they're not able to deal with that. So I'm imagining a single lady. So tell us, you bring people together or you can work with someone individually?
I remember the first time when I wrote that letter to Zanel in 2017, I shared it on Facebook. And actually, it is in my book. You know, by the way, my book has a chapter called The Zanel Moment. I love that girl. She's special.
Your daughter.
So, when I wrote that letter and shared, there's a lady who reached out. And she had been my friend for a while. She told me, Mama, we need to talk. And we meet up and she tells me, 7 years ago, I was pregnant. She's a pastor's kid. She was pregnant and they took her to the village so that people do not get to know that pastor's kid is pregnant. Yes.
Away.
And 2 months later of the pregnancy, she had a miscarriage. And they came for her, of course, to come back to Nairobi, and they told her,
now she's okay.
Kambia, this story is ended. No one is talking about, even your brothers, sisters, they didn't know. So nobody's talking about, okay? She said, okay. That was 7 years ago. She told me, today is the first time I want to talk about my child. I said, what? Actually, we were talking on phone. Then I told her, hold it there, let's meet. This one can't be on phone. And we met and she talked and she cried. And I just gave her that space and she cried and cried and cried. 7 years later is when we began a journey with her, you know. And she told me, how do you deal with it? How have you been dealing with it? And I will tell her. I told her of the times I will do cards for my baby. And she told me for her, every time she remembers that day she lost the baby, on that particular day, she'll just lock herself up and just be with her. She didn't want to be with anyone. So we started a journey and we walked with her. That is one. I have had cases, another case of a daughter who's lost a pregnancy. She's not married. And the parents are tired of her. Tired why? Actually, when I talked to the father, he told me, this girl does not want, has refused to be okay. I told him, Papa, you don't refuse to. Everyone wants to be okay.
Yeah.
We all want to be okay. Kambia, please, can you hand that daughter to me? Let me walk with her because I know what she's going through. Yeah. And I got a hold of that girl and we still do. It's been 3 months now. We're still walking the journey. So that is just for the single ladies that lose pregnancies and go that. But on the flip side, I've even worked with people that are in marriages and have lost babies because only, we always say what you've been through, you're able to empathize with somebody more. So being there, I totally understand. I once worked with a lady who had lost almost 6 babies, 6 miscarriages. And even the first husband left her because of that. She gets into the second marriage, the journey begins again. And she had seen all manner of doctors and everything. I just told her, you know what, I'm going to be here. I would literally carry pregnancies with her and we would lose the pregnancies with her and just go through it. But we thank God, God blessed her at some point. She got a baby. She has a very big boy right now. It's a journey that I think I reached to a place where I told God, I just want to be there for people. So God, if there's anyone that loses a baby, connect me with them somehow. That is why I share my story so much, so that it is out there and people can find a place where they come. It has helped me connect with organizations. There's an organization I'm part of. It's called Still a Mom.
Oh.
I love that name. Still a mom. You've lost a baby? No, you're a mother to that baby. You're not a mother to, you're not a would have been mother. No, you are a mother to that baby. And that organization, we bring women together, you know, that have suffered losses. Every October, actually, is usually the pregnancy loss and infant loss awareness month. So we just come together and we meet. I remember last year's meeting was special. We were in a meeting, many women will come together, and some 2 women came with their husbands. Oh, I applauded those men. They came to be there.
Wow.
And we were there, and many women were talking, sharing their experiences. Then I spoke. Then there's a young lady who was seated next to me. She said, thank you for speaking. I almost thought I'm in the wrong place because I'm hearing, so then my husband, then my husband. So I was like, me, I will not even talk. Me, I don't have a husband. But you spoke and you gave me the energy. And she spoke. The young girl was pregnant when she was in high school. And she lost her pregnancy. God.
Oh, a child going through that.
Can you imagine a teenager going through such a loss? And there was nobody, because she had not spoken to anyone that she's pregnant.
Oh.
No. And she loses it. So she can't speak about it. She's carrying it all through the years. So it's just God giving us avenues to work with people. You talked about couples that it breaks them. I have a couple that, a friend of mine actually from Uganda. At some point, I even told her to come over because she was like, I'm tired of staying with this man that does not understand me. I said, hey, that marriage can end, Abby. I told her, come for holiday in Kenya, small. And she came, and I even talked to the husband. I told her, you know what, just let her go through it. The beauty of grief, what I always say, it's a personal journey. There's no manual on how to go about it. There are those who go through it quickly, they are okay. There are some who it will take long. But grief is, number one, you will never forget that child. Never. Don't lie to yourself that I dealt with it, I moved and I forgot. You don't forget. They live with you. Then all you need to do is you get to a point where you manage your emotions. There are those days when you think about them and you cry. Allow yourself cry. There are those days you think about them and you're smiling like I do. I do lots of voice notes for Zanelle. Gosh, I wish I can send her to heaven. Imingi. Like sometimes they are beautiful moments, but sometimes they are sad. And that's the journey of grief.
Now, we have a notion, which is a very wrong notion. If you're having miscarriages, you had abortions.
Yeah, right?
And that is so wrong. I've seen people go through so much because one abortion, one miscarriage or two, the family, sometimes even your spouse, everybody is saying because you had an abortion or you had abortions before. I wish people could understand that there is so much more.
There is so much more.
There is so much more that could lead to such. So I tend to imagine when someone is going through that, they are not only going through loss, especially if it was a miscarriage. There is so much you're dealing with.
Yes.
How do you help people walk through? I know there are steps to loss and grief, but how do you, what steps, or how do you help these mothers deal with this thing? Because I know it's a one day, another day, it's a whole process.
Yes.
You cannot get over it over a day.
Number one, medically, you know, sometimes people think this clinic thing is just, no, it's very important. Because sometimes people have underlying issues that they don't know. For example, the many cases we've had of preeclampsia is because of women that have high BP and they don't take caution. And high BP likelihood, preeclampsia happens, either miscarriage or a stillbirth. Or sometimes in the loss of both. There are people who have lost lives because they had a situation, a condition that wasn't monitored. Because when the clinic visits are done, what the doctors, of course, will do is to assess you and the baby. And if there's anything, they give you the medication or whatever to rectify. Those times when you find somebody, maybe they have a condition and they didn't know, and if they would have gone to a doctor, wangepewa bed rest. Now you don't know, you are all over the place. Maybe you're doing a very strenuous job and you're just doing. You strain your uterine membrane, the baby will come out, you know. So medically, that is one thing that will be a good advice, that ensure you have all your clinics done. And even after that, when you have someone that is working with you, a doctor, they would guide you. Because, for example, if my membrane is weak, my uterine membrane was the problem, I lost the pregnancy, the next time I am pregnant, by default, I'll be put on bed rest. You know, so that helps. And number two, like we said, it's a journey. Today, we might sit down and maybe I just share my thoughts and everything. Another day we might meet up. There's a friend of mine who actually lost a baby this February. She had a baby, brought forth very well, and then 3 hours later the baby died. There was no problem. The baby was fine. The baby just slept, you know. Yes. And my friend, she's been going through it. Of course, she's still going through even now. And I remember when we were leaving hospital, because I was there for her. So when we were leaving hospital, you would see the confusion. Her tummy is still protruding. She still has the scar because she had the baby via CS, and she has no child. I remember I was carrying some, I think, fruit basket and something. She just hit that fruit basket and told me, don't pick those things. I told her, okay. I left them and we just went. And you know, you realize this one, it's hitting her already, and it's okay. So sometimes you can be with somebody, they just want to talk about their child, talk and talk.
You allow them.
Yes, you allow them. Even if they talked to you about it last year and they're talking about, please just give them audience. When we had our meeting last year, August 2021, and one of the things we did, I remember after we had that talk and everything, people talking, of course, when someone is talking, the box of tissues is going around because everybody in the room is crying and it's very okay. And then we got to a place where we had beautiful placards. Everyone was writing the name of their child. So we came and put them in front and we lit candles for our children. That was a somber moment. Man, the crying that was in that room that time. And me, I was there 2021, how many years ago was that? 18 years since I lost Daniel. But the emotions were all over the place. So sometimes we think that just because you spoke the other day, atulishaongea, mbona tunarudiarudianga? No. Let somebody be. Let whatsoever emotions they bring on their table come. It is very okay. It is a journey. It's not a one-day journey. Allow them at their pace.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I know someone there is listening to Nashami and they're like, I needed this. Now, you can reach her. She will tell us where you can reach her, because I know there are people who would want to talk to you and probably just get an opportunity to open up to someone, or someone can help them through the journey. So please look at that camera and tell us where we can find you.
That is usually the hardest question. Well, unfortunately, I'm not on social media platforms, but if you wanted to reach out, number one, I am here. I am so here to walk with somebody the journey. If you know someone that needs help, I am here and I'll just be available. So I think you can reach Ngina just through her contact, and then of course we will connect and we can always work with whoever, but just know you're not alone. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing, amazing. We love you. Allow me to say that. We love you that is going through that process of mourning, having lost a baby, whether it was a grown child, just any loss and grief. And it is very important for every one of us that has gone through loss and grief to take time, mourn your way. I lost my brother 13 years ago. I still sit home and I just hope one day you will give me a call and tell me, Ngina, I'm back. You know, we mourn differently, and it's okay for you to mourn. So you can reach Nashami, write to me down there in those comments. Just say, I want to connect to Nashami, and I will reply and I will connect you to her. It is well. No, I was told not to say it. I'm sorry. It is okay.
It is okay to be where you are at.
To be where you are at. You will be, with time, the pain will ease, and you will be able to remember your child and thank God that He gave you an opportunity to be your mother at that very moment.
Amen.
Thank you so much for choosing to watch Ngina's Journal. We're here to enlighten you on subjects like this. We're here to bring you amazing people who have been there where you are, so that you can know someone else has walked that path and they overcame and they are stronger and they are walking with someone else.
Amen.
I'll see you again on Tuesdays. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, my producer Leseni, and everybody there who is helping us build this channel. We love you. We'll see you again on Tuesday. God bless you.